What's happening, YouTube? It's your homie S.Dot of DefTF coming back to you with another video. And today's video is the big one. Trypticon versus Metroplex. So I got my boy Brian here piloting his new Metroplex deck with a couple of new cards in it. And this is just kind of just preliminary testing of just getting this matchup going and see exactly how it goes or what can potentially happen. So jumping right into the gameplay, we have Metroplex. I won the dice roll and had him go first just to see what happens. I have no idea exactly what's going to happen, but look at him. How lucky is this guy? This man attacks with Metroplex on his first turn and actually triggers the effect. He flipped a white and another white off to the top of his deck, which allows him to flip 2 more cards for his attack, thus and also hitting a Peace Through Tyranny and a handheld blaster and trigger the effect. So I get tapped down here and take 1 damage, and what that means for me is if I did open with Battlefield Incursion, I wouldn't be able to get 2 attacks on his Metroplex because I would play the Incursion and then I would be able to, of course, get 2 attacks because his Metroplex is tapped. But of course that's not going to happen here. Again, being one of the biggest weaknesses of the deck is definitely needing to see that Battlefield Incursion as soon as possible. So I'm going to attack though in his alt mode. He has more defense in that mode, and plus with the reflex circuits now, if I do block against a melee character, I will gain another health, or another defense. Now I don't, I flip a for 5 attack total here, and Metroplex defense for 2, so he only takes 3. And if he has anything like escape route or rollout in his turn, he'll be able to get another 2 big attacks, and then on top of that, he's able to activate an action and an upgrade. So not looking good for me right here already, seeing as how his deck is just auto able to get the cards out. He's going to deal 1 damage to my Slammer, and he's also going to play with Slammer's effect, and he's also going to play Height Advantage, probably one of the strongest cards in the Metroplex deck, giving Metroplex Bold 5. So he's coming after my Trypticon pretty heavy here. Attacking looks like for maybe like 12 or 13, I want to say. And yeah, Trypticon is going to take a good bit. I did flip 2 Battlefield Incursions off of my flips, which is really unlucky for me because I would like to at least see 1 per battle so I'd be able to get both Battlefield Incursions. But seeing 2 like that is actually very bad as well. So kind of couldn't tell with that glare, but I do remember being just a couple hours ago that there were 2 Battlefield Incursions flipped off of that. And then he attacks with his Slammer, and actually I do get my another Battlefield Incursion, so I at least have 2. But being that I know that the 3rd one I will not be able to get into my deck reshuffles kind of sucks. Looking at this deck already, this is my version 1 that I played with Brian just to get some content in and just to see how this matchup would go in general, going first, going second. And yeah, I already have some changes that I see I want to make, and be looking out for a deck profile coming for this deck within the next 1 or 2 days with my version 2, with the changes that I saw that I potentially wanted to make with this deck. So I draw for my turn and I play Battlefield Incursion, and I'm going to deploy probably the one that lets me draw 2. Wipeout is the one that lets you draw 1 card if he's in his alt mode, if he dies while Trypticon is on the field with the new revenge mechanic, or if Wipeout is in bot mode, I'll be able to draw 2 cards. So I do use my flip for the turn to flip the Wipeout. See what I play for an upgrade. Metroplex is wide open, can potentially get an attack on him. I probably did some of my attack sequences wrong as well too. I probably should have attacked Slammer, but I think I end up attacking Metroplex. I want to say the weakness of Metroplex, just like another one of Trypticon's weaknesses, is getting rid of the smaller characters. Once you get rid of the smaller characters, that really helps mitigate what Metroplex can do in terms of getting those powerful bold effects. But I end up attacking Metroplex anyway. Like I said, looking back at the data and looking back at this game, I think I should have swung at Slammer. And even then, Slammer probably wouldn't have died because he has that healthy 3 defense. And I was attacking for 6 bold 1, but he, of course, plays a good bit of blue, and I think he did defend that hit pretty well. So Brian draws for his turn and flips Metroplex back to alt mode, which will let him deploy Scamper, looks like. And he's going to, no action or upgrade actually, and send the Slammer. Sorry for that that cutoff there. I think we fixed that here in a little bit, but keep in mind also, I think my camera angle next time I do, because this is only set 1 of that we're going to be doing of this match. As we tweak our decks within the coming weeks, we'll actually come back to this matchup, and I'll make sure I get that camera angle better. But that is Slammer that's cut off right there. Next up, I play another Battlefield Incursion, and I deploy, I think this is where I was talking about space being an issue here. But again, despite it being an issue, I probably just need to back the camera up and make the camera angle bigger, more on the field. I also had to worry about the glare as well too, so I did the best I could. But I'm going to deploy Brunt, and Brunt, what he does when he's KO'd with a revenge mechanic, you are able to scrap an enemy weapon or armor, so that'll help get rid of Metroplex's weapons like backup beam and stuff when he does have them on. Turn sequencing again is a thing here. Brunt didn't need to flip this turn, so I could potentially flip Trypticon and eat one of my characters and go from there. So only a action for my turn. I end up just attacking with the brunt into the slammer for 5 attack. And I think he defends all but, yeah, he takes only 1, defending for 4. Brian has a choice to potentially get the escape route off his flips. He decides not to. Draws for his turn, flip Metroplex. Keep in mind, I think Brian said he only added a couple of cards, like I think a couple that medic field or card or whatever. He did not play cards like kinetic whip, which I think he really should, and he mentioned that he'll potentially play those cards coming up for next week because that card seems very good to play. But Alas Backup Beam is still a very good card. It's a black-green icon card that gives your character Bold 2. It's a weapon, and so Supercharge and that. He has like Bold 6 or something like that. Bold 7. His Scamper and Slammer being on the battlefield. That's 2 Bold. And then the Bold 3 from Supercharge gives him Bold 5. And then Bold 2 from Backup Beam is Bold 7. So definitely looks like he'll probably hit the effect this turn. If he doesn't, I'd be shocked. Yeah, I think I definitely see it. So he taps down my Trypticon again, which really hurts. And it's going to KO my... Okay, he decided, yep, KO my Brunt. And Brunt, when he's KO'd, he'll be able to scrap an enemy weapon or armor. So I will scrap his Backup Beam here in a second. Yep, there it is. And then Scamper's also able to attack now because Trypticon is now tapped. And of course, you have to attack with every character. There's that I Still Function that I was taking that I actually think I might take out. It seemed like it was a good choice, but the fact that the deck is already mixed and a lot of it's not orange is kind of... This deck is hard to build, I will say that. I feel like there is something there. I'm going to keep working on it because I really do like the deck and the way that it potentially plays. But of course, the biggest negative, you know, is needing Battlefield Incursion. Can't think going through 9 rounds of a tournament at PAX and, you know, stressing about not have opening, you know, Battlefield Incursion rounds. Now against blue decks, it'll be better because he'll live a lot longer. So I played Marksmanship for my turn, another card that I think I'm going to cut. For another card I will show you guys in my deck profile coming up soon. But I play Marksmanship on Metroplex, and the Trypticon is now at 10 with the grenade launcher going in on Metroplex. It'll be a good sizable attack, but unfortunately definitely won't be enough to kill Metroplex as he has a solid 35 health and only 8 damage counters on him. He will take a good bit of damage, putting him at, looks like 16. But even with 16 damage counters, he still has 19 health, which is kind of insane. So, and my Trypticon having 18 damage on it, meaning only 12, needing 12 to be KO'd is definitely not looking good for me. So, flip Scamper for turn to scrap my armor, so that makes my Trypticon even weaker. Gonna play the medic field. It heals 1 from the character that you put it on, and then it has Safeguard 3, so it can't take more than 3 damage. So it'll stay on the field even longer to for Metroplex to be able to utilize to have the Bold 1. And Scamper, of course, himself gets a solid attack in here too, because Trypticon only has 1 defense. Fixing my camera here a little bit, trying to get it right. Looks a little better. Actually, looks a lot better. Pretty centered. So reshuffling my scrap pile here. Got 1 more card to flip on defense. And I'm only doing commentary if there's Valuable Contract, another card that I think is definitely necessary to get those Relentless Invasions, another card I'll talk about in the deck profile, and why I think Relentless Invasion is so important, and actually a very strong application I didn't think about until I actually had the card in my hand yesterday. So Scamper's going to attack for a solid 6 attack, looks like, 5 or 6 attack, and get even more damage on my Trypticon. So put me in danger mode. I have 28 damage on me total, looks like. Or I had 28 damage from the... Okay, I had 28 damage from the Metroplex attack, and then the Scamper ended up finishing me off. And we're going to move on to game 2. Alright, so game 2 here, I decided to go first this time just to see exactly what will happen. Like I said, I just want to actually see it happen and I'll bring it to life in terms of, you know, because kind of leave theory out of it and just play the cards and see what ends up happening, especially against Metroplex. So against other decks, it might be a little bit more logical to go second or to go first or whatever. But so I decided to go first this time, and I attack with the Trypticon, getting only actually 1 damage, and he flips a solid 4 defense on that attack. So 5 defense rather on that attack. But he's gonna flip Metroplex, and he gets an action this turn, which right away I could see is potentially not good for me, because if he has anything like Supercharge or Height Advantage or Backup Beam, he's able to play that card and get some big damage on my guy to start. I do flip a Battlefield Incursion off of my flips. I think I flipped Sturdy Javelin, Valuable Contract, and Energy Pack, I want to say. Let's take a decent bit of damage. We stand. And then here, I'm definitely going to play the Battlefield Incursion. Gives a decent, hopefully a decent attack on the Metroplex. Metroplex, of course, going into this, most people, I want to say, think that definitely Metroplex has the advantage. Not having to need right out the gate, out the gate, not needing to have an action card to deploy your characters. And just being able to just flip and just freely get out your character, I think definitely helps. So as much as I believe in Trypticon, it's like, seems like he has an uphill battle, especially against Metroplex, but definitely keep working with the build and see what I can do. He definitely has some different applications than Metroplex and has some nice tricks and things, so we'll see what happens. So I'm going to deploy Wipeout from Battlefield, or excuse me, with Battlefield Incursion, flip him for the turn, so now when he does die, I will be able to draw 2 cards. Now I play Grenade Launcher and I attack with Metroplex, getting a nice attack. It looks like about 6, 9, 11 attack, I want to say, on Metroplex, so that's a pretty sizable attack. And this lets me hide my Trypticon. But what ends up also happening, which is unfortunate here, is he's also able to now hide Metroplex with his Slammer. So he deals 1 to each of my characters. And then what also is unfortunate for me is if I don't see a Battlefield Incursion next turn, I have to go in with my Trypticon, which leaves him exposed to his Metroplex. So it's unfortunate. He plays Reflex Circuits on his Slammer, so being able to put on a ranged character, if it does block against a melee character, you will get an additional defense during your block. He attacks my Wipeout and actually KOs it, so I draw 2 cards off of the Wipeout, and I think I actually drew 2 Improvised Shields here. So definitely not ideal at all to draw 2 of those in a row like that. So those would be definitely getting pitched for greens. Okay, I did have another Incursion, so I play Incursion for my turn again. Brunt probably seems like it'll be good to get out here because if Metroplex has to attack it, or one of his other characters, I can scrap his backup beam from his Metroplex and leave it weaker, so to try to prevent him getting the effect off. Slammer, unfortunately, still kind of halfway off the screen, but like I said, we'll get the camera angles working better. Coming up soon here, probably get another match in next week with our decks tweaked. Bashing Shield on the Reflex Circuit is going to get an attack in on the Slammer and attack with a, looks like about 6 attack onto the Slammer. Blocking for 4, so he takes 2. And looking at this move here, pay attention, I'd make a misplay here coming up soon. I probably already made a couple of misplays, but this one I definitely noticed was a big one, and it's coming up here soon. Looks like I'm trading Fight for Position for green. I missed what green it was. Alright, so we got Rollout. Great card to flip, so he's going to be able to deploy, flip without using your actual flip for the turn. So to deploy Scamper, and then he's going to flip Metroplex back to set up for the next turn, and just go in with the Scamper for with Brunt, and I think I blocked the attack. 5 defense to his 5 attack, 4 or 5 attack. Now this is the turn. I think I end up, well, we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, this game just happened a couple hours ago, so I don't want to get ahead of myself, but definitely check this move out, and I'll explain where my misplay was. Pretty sure I drew for my turn at this point. Ideally right here, hopefully if I have the other Battlefield Incursion, that'll be nice. I feel like the Bold 1 on Trypticon is definitely nice to be able to help you flip an additional card to help you search for those Battlefield Incursions ASAP. But unfortunately don't have it this turn. I use my action for the turn to play Smelt and get rid of his backup beam, which is good. So if he doesn't have another backup beam or Power Punch or anything like that, it'll weaken his Metroplex if it does decide to attack. Speaking of Power Punch, I play Power Punch on my own and I try to get a KO on one of his characters. I'm going to go after Scamper here and hopefully flip enough to KO his Scamper. Check the other mode to see what is what. I don't want to waste an attack on the Slammer necessarily because I do know that I have my Full Tilt, which Full Tilt deals damage to the Full Tilt deals 1 damage or 2 damage to a character when it's KO'd with its revenge effect. So I end up getting rid of the Scamper here, which is pretty solid for me. My Trypticon has 11 damage on it, so unless Metroplex, unless he flips like all of the oranges in his deck, my Trypticon should not die here this turn. He has another backup beam, and not only backup beam, he also has height advantage. So he's coming in with Bold 7 with the Slammer. Slammer also gives the Bold 1. So he's coming in hitting me for a lot again, and that's going to hurt pretty bad here. I can see myself, like, if Metroplex, if the deck were to become, like, if once me and Brian, you know, get our decks constructed and we get to, you know, more bouts with these decks, because I feel like this is like one of those Godzilla, you know, big Megazord type matches. And it's just definitely something that I've been waiting for, and I'm pretty sure a lot of other people have been too. But definitely want to side deck, you know, get some side decking in as well. And I know one card I would definitely side deck against this deck is a W5 Gyro Blaster. That would, like, kind of just shut down his deck, and he'd need to find ramming speeds or whatever ASAP. So, which I'm sure he would also side in as well. So as we go through the evolution of, you know, Wave 4, and, you know, this is the beginning of Wave 4, as we evolve with the format and leading up to packs, I'll actually be posting more matchups with Trypticon versus Metroplex, and keep tally of the score and see who ends up winding up, you know, on top later on. So Brian, I'm coming for you. Look out. Alright, so this is the turn, I think, where I make an interesting play that I think was also the incorrect play. Again, I probably made some more incorrect plays. My build is also probably bad, and like I said, I'll be showing you guys version 2 in the deck profile coming up very soon, so be looking forward to that with the changes that I really think I want to make that will make it better. So I played Battlefield Incursion, my last one, to deploy Full Tilt. Now, Full Tilt is the one that gives burn damage, or excuse me, deals burn damage to a character. In his bot mode, he will deal 1. In his alt mode, he will deal 2. Now, with this move, what I really should have done was flip Trypticon, kill the Full Tilt. So I put a Reflex Circuits on my Trypticon. I should have flipped Trypticon, kill Full Tilt, and that 1 will kill the Slammer, so then I can use an attack into his Metroplex. His Metroplex has no more characters under it, so if I would have killed the Slammer like that, he would have had to attack it with his Metroplex into Brunt, and then Brunt also would have KO'd, scrapped his backup beam as well, and then Trypticon will be able to get another free solid attack on the Metroplex. But I don't think that's what I do here. Well, it isn't what I do. I forgot exactly what I do, but it's not that. Probably overthinking it here. I know a lot of times I'll make a play and, like, sometimes, like, I just can't figure out what play I want to do, and then, like, immediately after I do it, it's like, oh, okay, I see where I messed up. But hey, you either win or you learn, so it's all good. So that's the first misplay. I ended up deciding to flip Wipeout this turn and debate if I think I'm going to get enough damage on the Slammer to kill it. I think well, we'll see. And even if I actually, I want to say, even if I didn't attack with, yeah. I think I should have attacked with the Full Tilt, because he's not going to send Metroplex in versus Full Tilt. And then, if he sends Slammer in, my Full Tilt won't die. And then I can flip Trypticon to kill the Full Tilt, to kill his Slammer with the effect, and then send Brunt in on the Metroplex. So I get a little bit of damage on Metroplex, trade a height advantage for something, I just missed it. Oh, you know what? I apologize. Never mind. Okay, he did have another character up under it, but it'll still matter in the end what I, like I said, on what I should have done. Oh, yeah, okay, the play is still the same, but Brunt would have attacked into his 6-gun, and then Metroplex would have to attack into Brunt, and then Trypticon gets to attack into the Metroplex. But even then, I mean, Trypticon is, like, in danger mode. He has, like, 23 damage on him, so he's pretty close to being KO'd. But Trypticon is also able to heal 3 as well, so that's a thing. Yeah, so this is definitely the turn right here. What I was talking about a minute ago, if I were to flip Trypticon here and KO my Full Tilt, I still have to attack with my Trypticon. So I should have attacked with the Full Tilt instead. And then I could flip Trypticon to KO Full Tilt to KO his Slammer so he loses an attack. And then send my Brunt into the 6-gun. Don't care if I kill it or not. Then Metroplex has to waste a whole attack into Brunt. And then once Brunt gets KO'd, then I can... the only way he would be okay is if he were to hit the Metroplex effect again. So... to tap my Trypticon so I wouldn't be able to get another attack on it. So attack 6-gun, I think I get 3 damage on it. And this play right here, since I don't have any direct damage, that Slammer, he's going to be able to hide Metroplex and attack with the Slammer. And my Trypticon has to waste an attack into either of those characters, which is unfortunate. Now, at the same time, if I did have Valuable Contract would have been nice to be able to attack one of his characters and get the effect to be able to add Relentless Invasion to my hand. I think trying to get a Relentless Invasion to at least be able to play one or maybe even a second one throughout the game is very important. And like I said, there are some cards I'm going to add to my deck that I think will help that. And just the ideas I have, hopefully it'll work out. And I also did say shout out to Power by Promise. I did see him playing these cards as well, so you probably know what I'm talking about if you watch their stream. But it's cards I was thinking about playing before I put the deck together. I just didn't add them in, but now I think they're definitely necessary along with Valuable Contract. So I am going to end up flipping Metroplex. I am going to end up flipping Trypticon to KO my Full Tilt and deal 1 damage. Or I think I forget about the damage, but I should have said, yeah, deal 1 damage to his Slammer to kill it. I think I correct myself here in a second. And Marksmanship went on the Metroplex. Unfortunately, can't kill the Slammer with that because the Slammer comes out and only has an alt mode, does not have a bot mode. So yep, Full Tilt. I heal 3 off of I keep saying Metroplex. I heal 3 off of my Trypticon and kill the Slammer with the effect of Full Tilt, dealing 2 damage to it. And then Trypticon is going to attack and kill 6 gun. So that's going to make his Metroplex all the way at base level. Just 6 attack, no bolt, no anything, no extra added effects from his other minions. So he has to have height advantage or something here to be able to, deal some solid damage to Trypticon. Otherwise, when we stand back up, I'll be able to send Brunt in. So we'll see what ends up happening here. Plays Confidence, draws 2 cards, discard 2 cards. Plays Supercharge off of that and Backup Beam. So that's definitely probably going to be enough. I'm defending with 3, but coming in at Metroplex, if he flips enough oranges, it's probably going to be enough to KO my Trypticon and take me out of this game. So if I confused anybody with that play earlier, I apologize. But yeah, I definitely just think I should have attacked with the Full Tilt, knowing the Full Tilt wasn't going to die, and then kill it off with the Trypticon effect, steal an attack from the Slammer, killing the Slammer, and then I send the Brunt in on his Scamper, and then make his Metroplex have to attack into my Brunt. But it's all good. You live and you learn. Like I said, I either win or I learn. So still flipping. He has a whole bunch of battle cards to flip here still, including that white, which is going to make him flip even more cards. And I think that's going to do it, because he also triggers the effect as well, which effectively kills my Brunt. So that's pretty good. All right, shout out to Brian and his Metroplex deck. So as you can see here, I have Metroplex as the winner, and he is 1-0. We're going to do this a little NBA style and have a best of 7 series throughout the meta, throughout the next couple of months. As we tweak the deck, I'm going to keep holding on to this Metroplex, or excuse me, to my Trypticon deck, and I'm also going to build my own Metroplex deck as well. But as we tweak the decks and as we go on through the formats, we got PAX coming up, but things aren't over just because PAX is over. Once PAX is done, I'm pretty sure they're going to, WTC will have announcements for the new year, 2020. I'm pretty sure they'll have big things happening and more waves coming. That means more new bots, more new battle cards, and most importantly, more transforming. So with that, I will catch you guys in my next video. Be looking out for my Trypticon deck profile coming up very soon, as well as more gameplay, and as long as some sealed content as well. You guys have a great day and or a great night. You know what it is. This is S.DevTF heading out. Peace.